Right, ladies and gentlemen, time for food. We're heading towards Dubai. Probably gonna get myself a DJI remote camera. Just so simple, so easy. But first, let's get in some food. Hop into the plane. See you tomorrow morning, guys. Touchdown, Dubai. Boom. Touchdown, Dubai, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's 40 degrees now. Outside. So freaking damn hot. It's not even fun, bro. 31st floor. Yep. It's gonna take a while. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Okay. Can at least cook. But this looks cool though. This looks cool. Gonna make a scene here to do some recording. Shithouse indeed. And the sleeping room. Oh, sunbed. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's watch. We are now renting lights so we can make a studio. And he is now bringing the boom arm. So we're gonna set up in the room a complete film set to be shooting some videos, some advertisements, stuff like that. So let's freaking go. Now, the only thing that I'm missing right here is the applewood smoked bacon, because they cannot have it here, but it's still okay though. Still okay. All right, so now we're getting into a call.
Tricks or something they want to progress in, etc. Those can also be exercised.
So this is typical in Dubai. You need to have filter coffee. No, this crap in order to make your coffee here, because they don't give you the cups, nothing. So I have to buy freaking powder to get this stuff done. But at least there's some caffeine in there and coffee. So yeah, guys, so we are now making a scene right there. So this is a nice background. This is actually the reason why I took this apartment, because it has this nice background. So as you can see, we installed a light, and that will be on me, and I need to cover that. So I put the lamp that towards that, and we're gonna make things like, you know, courses, stuff like that. We're gonna film a bunch. So yeah, staying productive in our 2-week stay here in Dubai, focusing, locked in, and then keep pushing forward. Let's get it done. Yeah, sometimes it requires crazy stuff. I learned all this stuff, guys, from doing YouTube videos and making documentaries, and you know, having lights myself at home makes it so much easier. So yeah, life of the influencer. All right, so we are now in the Emirates Mall. First, we're gonna get a protein shake. Everywhere you go in a restaurant, they have a protein shake in some shape or form. Now they also had a good chicken. I haven't eaten at all. Like, it's 16 p.m. here. Once we finish that, we're gonna get some walking to the mall, and then yeah, go to the freaking gym, destroy legs, and probably have dinner there as well. I try to consume as much protein, carbs, and fats in a short period of time, so that I don't have to go out again, get myself those calories in. Because usually when I'm on a vacation or a workation, it's like always losing weight, and I need to keep up with the calories. Bam! And the protein shake. You know, the funny thing is, whenever I come to the entrance, the guy says like, no, don't worry, this is 200 grams of chicken. That's how they operate here. Everything is protein focused. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, well, you know, we are going to film with this new Osmo. So, which much easier when it comes down to you know, doing the workouts, I guess, instead of bringing the fat ass camera with me, which is sometimes a hassle, to be honest. All right, let's get it done. Lax it is today. So, yeah, probably gonna destroy myself. Let's go. All right, ladies and gents, on our way to the gym. Now, that car right there, yeah, that's crazy. I was driving that with one of the couple times back when I was in Dubai. Was amazing. Cool. Let's go to the gym and get some cracking, folks. Let's go. We are now here in Benu's gym. Amazing gym. We're gonna get some leg workout in. Posterior chain, guys. So a lot of focus of my training program nowadays has been whenever we are hitting, you know, the pose where we do the side chest, for example, we want to make sure that the hamstring is hanging, and therefore we are focusing a lot on the posterior chain. So first things off, once we're starting this workout, we're gonna do some lying leg curls, and then we're gonna hit some heavy hitters for the posterior chain and glutes at the same time. So posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, that's the main focus. Now, I want to show you guys something when it comes down to this machine, even though, you know what, you're gonna use the Prime instead. The Prime was in use, but right now we can use it. Therefore, we can influence the resistance profile. So let's do that exactly. Skip the Nautilus. All right, so what I want you guys to see, why Prime? Prime is amazing, one of the best machines out there, if not the best. So whenever we have this machine, as you can see, all right, so once we're gonna install, there's the one. And what this is gonna do, this band you see right there, whenever we are doing the curl, so when I lift this up, you will see whenever it's getting heavy, okay? Whenever this point, as you can see, it's kind of an egg shape. Whenever it's approaching this point, this is when it gets the heaviest. So now we have positioned it in a way that it comes more to this point in the mid-range. And whenever you put it here on the 2, for example, it will only be in the short position. So when this comes all the way up, the most tension will happen there. So right now we're gonna put it in 1. So have the tension both on the short and the lengthened portion. And yeah, let's stack it up. All right, there's something wrong with this machine. I don't know what, but I don't like it. We have a different one. We have 3 weights, but you can influence the short, lengthened, mid-range position very good. But this one doesn't go all the way down. So either they have adjusted it here inside the gym, or Prime did a not so good job, but I don't think it's actually that. But this one, as you will see, my feet will not come into the most lengthened position because I'm losing tension there because it stops, all right? Now, also another thing what you're gonna see me do is I'm gonna keep my feet down, all right? I'm gonna keep my feet down instead of what most people do like this. So the difference, as you can see, let me put the weight up a little. As you can see, what I will do, my feet now, what most people do is into dorsiflexion. But I actually want for myself a plantar flexion. So which means I keep the calves as much of it out of it because I don't want more leverage from the calves. So from this point on, we're gonna get in and 3 seconds down. And I keep my feet all the way relaxed, as you can see. Plantar flexion. You see, it stops you. Shit. Yep. All right. A muscle failure at 6 repetitions. 3rd set. Then we're getting into a back off set in which we're gonna drop the weight with approximately 10 to 20%, get in muscle failure again, getting a higher amount of tension, Remember, you need to have the conditioning to be handling properly and the effect on the system and the body to handle 2 sets to true failure, okay? So, third set, muscle failure, 6 reps. Up. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 3. Up. 4. Up. Oh. Up. All right. 2-3 minutes rest. Get into our backup set. So we drop the weight with approximately 20% now. Get into muscle failure again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now getting into the RDL. Most people make the mistake inside the RDL that they are not specific enough, right? When it comes down to hitting their hamstrings, when it comes down to hitting their glutes, they are just not intentional when it comes down to the training. This RDL is going to focus more on the hamstrings, which means the way I use my knees, I can favor a certain position that's going to be more for the hamstrings, all right? It's going to be 99% of locked knees, so not all the way locked, but this way we're getting most leverage from the hamstrings instead of the glutes. Knees 99% locked. This way we're going to get leverage from the hamstrings the most, but most people, what they do is whenever they're doing an RDL, they bend the knees too much, therefore creating more leverage from the glutes. That could be okay if you want to grow glutes, but this one RDL is for the hamstring specific. Cool. Grab the bar. I don't have stress with me, so but that's 6 reps. 2 reps from reserve, set number 2. Up, down, watch 3 seconds, just till here, and up. 1, 2, 3, up. I push still my hips back, but I don't go further past this, because otherwise I'm utilizing a lot of lower back. Up. Now, one other important thing, when it comes down to the RDL, is when you go down all the way, some people go all the way down, which is okay if you have the flexibility and maintain your neutral spine. But for me, because I'm so stiff, if I'm going beyond this point, I have to route my back here. This while the exercise, if we're doing this while the RDL, in the bottom is where most of the resistance is. You're the strongest in the top, the weakest in the bottom, and if you're gonna overcomplicate a miserable flexibility and you go all the way down, this is where all the problems happen. So for me, just getting just slightly below the knees, for me, it's more than enough. This is also called the active range where you can work in. Last set for muscle failure. I wish I had straps, would be a little bit stronger, but now I'm probably gonna do one hand over grip. Make sure your feet is a little bit in an angle. Keep the knees almost straight. Alrighty, lads. So this one is a press for the legs. I usually use this machine to use it for the glutes. The problem is with this machine, therefore not choosing it, it's a hamstring. I think it is. Look at this. My active range of motion is all the way here. So I'm missing the lengthened position from this exercise, which means it's gonna be stopped from there. Usually we have handles here to put off the blocks or the locks. Therefore, it comes all the way back here into the most lengthened position possible, leveraging the lengthened position inside this machine. Now it's not, as you can see, if I press out and then I come back, I can go all the way here and gain all that length of position leverage, which is not now. Why do I want this in this particular exercise? It's balancing. Whenever we try to balance a short position overload, because the weights are now more towards gravity, okay? You see the weights there? And now it's where a lot of tension is. But it's a lengthened position exercise from itself, because in this one, it's very hard to push away the movements. And therefore, I want to have the most leverage here in the lengthened position, balancing out the whole exercise. So even though it's a short position overload right there, right? I want to have more leverage to balance out in the length position, which this machine is not going to give me. So fuck this. And you might think, hey Rico, that's a lot of complexity that you're bringing into one single freaking press. Yes, because everything I do in the gym matters. I don't want to be wasting freaking time doing this for months, years. You know, while I could have had much more gains in the first press. So we're gonna find ourselves a different glute dominant leg press. Now we're getting into the hip dominant leg press. Always a good option whenever you have shed machines. You have plenty of machine here, that's not a problem. But finding a good leg press pad that is high enough to hit the glute dominant leg press. So usually people's height would be a little bit here when it comes to normal leg press. Sissy leg press is all the way down here, knee over toes. Abductor leg press would be here, where we have the inner of the thigh. For the hip dominant leg press, we want to go all the way up. Now this pad again is high enough. This would be way too much, then I would be hurting my back. But whenever I'm coming down, I want to create approximately a 90-degree angle, and the knees come towards the chest. So feet close to each other, a little bit out in the angle.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Hey.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1. You can see whenever I'm coming down, this all the way I should go is a 90-degree angle. Up,
Back on deck on my fly shit.
2, up, 1, 2, up, 2, up, up. You can really feel the stretch here in the bottom, in the glutes. Up. All right, third set into muscle failure. After that, back off set, 20% down. Yep, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh. 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 Doing compound exercises requires a lot of systemic conditioning, which means basically that because you're working a lot of muscle at the same time, it's automatically taxing the systemic effect. Therefore, with a lot of compounds, you are breathing like crazy because you're utilizing so many muscles that needs to recuperation, using the oxygen. Holy shit balls. Let's fucking go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 5 more. God. Oh shit. So it's a multi-hip extension right here. It's a good exercise if you have no such thing as glute medius kickback. And guys, let me tell you, don't be a freaking pussy when it comes down to doing the glute exercises. First and foremost, for your glute or your hip health is very important, all right? A lot of people have sitting jobs. A lot of people are lifting heavy. Even power lifters are not utilizing these exercises for the glutes, for the hips, for their hip health. And they're missing out on a lot of opportunity, and therefore most of the time hip problems start to come. Okay, so don't skip this shit. And especially if you're competing, you want to create freaking glutes. It's the standard within natural bodybuilding nowadays. So, first things first, what I want to say here is we have a good position. If we look, probably you don't see it, but if you look at this round circle, which means even though it's pulling straight up, the resistance is spread all over the place. So the tension remains the same at all times. So why I love this one, which I could do the same with a cable, is I can get all the way up, creating a lot of stretch in the glutes, and then extend all the way in the short position, all right? I can get all the way up, which a lot of machine can't do because there's some restriction here, and guy can go down, okay? Now, I want to shift this a little because this would mean a straight kick back, but I want to hit the upper glute. Therefore, I'm standing a little bit inwards. This is also called the upper glute, the shelf with a lot of women, okay? So I stand a little bit in an angle, so the feet comes over my other foot. You will see it when I put the camera there, and then I get back, okay? Come all the way up, stretch, and out. So you can already start seeing that, you know, utilizing different things, techniques, see, analyze, has given me so much more leverage in the gym. It's not even fun. So I can literally do, no matter how fucked the gym is, to change the exercise or change the machinery to work with my body and the muscles that I want to train. Okay, so, okay, I will show you once we do a set to muscle failure. Now you can see the sticking point is right here because it's overload still in the short position. Usually when you see a sticking point in an exercise, for example, with the dumbbell press, the sticking point is at the bottom, which means the exercise is automatically in the lengthened position overloaded, okay? So with this one, it's in the short position overloaded because most tension will be created down here. So that's the reason why there's a sticking point there and I can't push it out. So that's an easy way to see where an exercise is actually overloaded. And you can see that with biceps as well. The sticking point is always in the middle, right? Because the tension here with gravity is straight down. So therefore, whenever we do bicep curls to our failure position is always like, I don't get past the 90 degrees because there's where the tension is the hardest, which means the bicep is in the mid-range overloaded. Yes, sir. I actually like to give you guys more extensive thoughts when it comes down to the training itself, because that's how I can really educate you on how I think. And once you, it's not that I'm thinking like every single time like this, but I have to think through everything that I'm gonna say to you guys. But usually I walk through a gym, hey, this is not possible, boom, I go to that exercise, I can manipulate it. You start to analyze it as if you are brushing your teeth, right? It's just second nature. You can already tell that you are so much better off with even, you know, let's say decent or even crappy machineries.
you can still influence everything to your liking and what you want to get out of an exercise or your workout program. So these will probably be a little bit longer, these videos, guys, but if you want to learn, guys, it requires in-depth thoughts, in-depth information, which I like, and I'm sure you like it as well. Make sure to like, comment below if you agree with that, and I will do more of this shit. And then calf press on the leg press, we have 300 kilograms right now for failure. Third set, failure, and then the fourth set will be a back off set. We're gonna reduce some weight, get it failure again. Yep. 3 seconds down, 1 up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3. A lot of people will say, oh, 300 kilograms, Rico Van Huizen. You know, the thing is, when you do controlled reps, that's where wheel strength is being built. I have not done bench presses for quite some time because of the controlled reps that I still do during the dumbbell presses. You know, the 3 seconds down stuff, then up with 45. I think I was with the flat. I was 75.5 kilograms doing a couple months ago. And then I was getting back again into a sort of a bench press or a Smith machine press, right? And then I started to move some serious weights, even though I haven't done those exercises for quite some time. And it was all because of the controlled movement pattern that I'm doing, the easier eccentrics, the 3 seconds down stuff. You know, there's a time and place to do 2 seconds down or even 4 seconds down. But it's so freaking important. You are doing so much more with your muscle. You're forcing yourself to stop that weight from, you know, bouncing the whole freaking time. This is where the strength is built. This is also where muscle is built, okay? So this is a huge difference. It's just a second in time. It makes all the freaking difference. Go. That's enough, folks. This is just the start, okay? There's a lot of freaking nuance when it comes down to training itself. So, really looking forward to educate you guys throughout my whole process. It's gonna make things so much more fun, so much more interesting than the usual stuff that everyone is talking about. Oh yeah, we're gonna do push-pull legs. No freaking way. Not gonna do that anymore. We're getting in depth. We're getting for the maximum effort, most bang for your buck, most return on investment, because it's all your freaking time, which you're investing every single day, every single week, years in, years out. And I've literally seen people like 16 years not making progress. It's that crazy. Like when people fill out their application to work with me in the coaching, I've had a guy say 60 years have not making progress. Can you imagine wasting 60 years of your time? That's like, holy shit. That's a lot of time, okay? I'm gonna make sure that that's not gonna happen. All right, guys, up to the next one. We're now here for 2 days in Dubai. We'll probably get you some more videos done, some trainings done. We're now actually getting into food. I will show you that before we're gonna head off towards the next video. But excited to get this channel a completely on live. And now it's more an in-depth training video. The other time is gonna be a presentation video, you know, with just an office setting, and you know, let's get to the freaking next level. That's what you've come here for. That's what I'm gonna give you. Let's go. Let's go. This is mine, right? Yeah, yeah, thank you. Absolutely freaking fantastic, bro. This is called the Trillionaire Shake. And this shake, ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not, it has a lot of calories, okay? I don't know if it has 2 scoops. I don't actually know. Milk, dates, banana, nuts, so peanut butter. I will ask if they how many scoops of whey there is. How many scoops is inside the 2 scoops? Okay, thank you. All right. We have ourselves 200 grams of teriyaki, 100 grams of beef, probably 200 grams of cooked rice, and a bunch of vegetables, a lot of freaking salt, a lot. Yeah, I had the beautiful meal, 200 grams of chicken. So 200 grams of chicken that was. So that's approximately, with all the extra carbs. Oh, and I had a protein smoothie. That in itself would be like 60 grams-ish of protein. To be exact, like 100 grams of chicken is 23 grams of protein. 200 grams is 46. Scoop of whey protein, depending on what kind of quality it is, 20 grams. So they are already at 66. But I chuck it down to 60. So I don't round it up to the top, but to the bottom. So then we have 60 grams protein. This is 200 grams of teriyaki. But it's 200 grams cooked, which means it's probably, I would say, 220, 230 grams uncooked. And the measurements for chicken, it's all uncooked, the 23 grams, right? Then we have, I would say that this, I don't know, this is not even 100 grams, it's probably 75 or something. But 100 grams of beef is uncooked, so we then already have 125-ish protein. Then we have 2 scoops whey protein in here with milk. This is high quality protein, so we are already at 175 with all the additions, okay? So it is not included protein from carbs or the additional fats. And we need to hit like 220 grams-ish. That's probably enough, okay? I still have a protein shake at home. But guys, this is how I calculate it out of the top of my head. I don't have to freaking do macros. I actually need to make sure that I'm eating enough. Enough carbs in, enough fats in. And that's the good thing when being, on a gaining phase. Whenever I was here prepping, I could still get it done. But that was like, holy shit. The difference between like losing weight and gaining muscle and being in a calorie surplus is such a difference when being on a vacation. Dude, I still enjoy every single freaking day of the meals that I eat. I don't need any tracking. Just the protein, that's it. And the carbs and fats to be whatever they're going to be, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, signing off. Back to the hotel, back to work. It's now 10 o'clock. See you until the next video. Peace.